Hello, Tim Wheeler here, the parliamentary candidate for reform for Uxbridge and South Ruislip. I wanted to talk a little bit about what we feel is better today in this area than it was 14 years ago when the Conservatives came to power. Healthcare. Do we feel that healthcare in this constituency and in this country is better than it was 14 years ago? I would say certainly not. Still haven't got enough doctors, still haven't got enough nurses. The health service is, I would say, in a worse situation than it was 14 years ago. Housing, they've had 14 years. Have we got enough houses? Well, clearly not. That's a situation that's gotten worse and worse and worse. And why wouldn't it? Because we have got hugely increased numbers of people coming to the country and we simply can't keep pace. Let's not overcomplicate it. They are the blimmin' facts of the matter. Is our education system better today than it was 14 years ago? No, it's not. It's not. Because the population has swelled, we haven't kept pace with that, we haven't got enough teachers, many of your children are being taught by teaching assistants rather than proper teachers. Those teaching assistants aren't being paid the money that a teacher would be paid either, so it's one great big mess up. Is law and order better today than it was 14 years ago? Again, no, it's not. They shut down the police stations. They sacked 20,000 experienced police officers, and when we all found out about it, they hurriedly replaced them with 20,000 inexperienced police officers. And perhaps join that with implementing a lovely two-tier policing system. Do you feel our national security is in better shape today than it was 14 years ago? Again, I say no, it's not. We've got 28,000 less soldiers in our army. We've got cameras all over the place. There's an absolute infestation of CCTV cameras. Wherever you go, you're on film. But do you actually personally feel safer? No, you don't. We're just persecuted as law-abiding citizens because those cameras are going to catch you parking on a double yellow. They're going to catch you doing 23 in one of these foolish 20-mile-an-hour speed zones, okay? But if you're a burglar, don't worry, you probably won't get caught. And guess what? If you're a shoplifter, brilliant, crack on. You can go and nick £200 worth of food or whatever you fancy and walk away. The police won't even turn up when the shop security staff call them. Do we feel our borders are being better protected here 14 years after a Conservative government came to power? Well, quite clearly not. They admit to having 100,000 illegal immigrants. If they admit to 100,000, I suggest they're going for the lowest possible justifiable number. It's probably a lot more. And of that 100,000, they've actually lost nearly 20,000 of them. They've lost them. They don't know who these people are in the first place. They give them a phone, a hotel room. We've got an organisation called the Home Office whose job it is to keep track of these people, but 20,000 people of them are out there somewhere. Men of fighting age, normally about 86% of them, okay? And we don't know where they are. And anyway, the other 80%, we know where they are, but we don't know who they are. And we're paying for them, while other people go short. Do you feel free speech is better today than it was 14 years ago? I don't feel we can really comfortably speak freely anymore, if I'm straight with you. We've got to be careful what we say, even if it's respectful, even if it's factually accurate. You've got to be careful because you've got to pander to a woke society where political correctness has driven a horse and cart through something that we used to hold so dear called democracy, which was the will of the majority. Now it's the will of any minority over the will of the silent, cowed, silenced majority. It's just a fact, guys. There'll be people there who'll go, this bloke's a nutter, I don't like this guy. Fair enough, you were never going to like me anyway. I don't care. Do you feel 14 years on from a Conservative government coming in that we are maintaining our traditional values? No, we don't celebrate St George's Day. There is just so much that we all hold dear very quietly, because be careful, you can't tell people you hold traditions and heritage highly now, because it puts you into a category that is unacceptable and you could be cancelled. Do we feel 14 years on that we are improving the care that we give to our elderly? Again, no, we're not. Decent, normal people who've saved all their life and been careful are still having to sell their houses to go into care homes to make care home owners fabulously rich, and sit beside people in the same home that have contributed nothing but are getting the same level of service. Do we feel that we are paying more or less tax after 14 years of a Conservative government? Of course, we're paying far more and we're getting far less from it. Why? Because there are lots of people who've contributed nothing that come to this country who we give everything to. That is a big problem. Let's put it out there. I'm not ashamed, I'm not embarrassed. Is it better being a motorist after 14 years of a Conservative government? No, it's not. They're trying to tax us off the road. They're calling road tax something different, but you can call my cat a dog, but it's never gonna bark. If you pay to put your car on the road, that's road tax, and they're trying to tax your car off the road. You're paying huge fuel duty, and all of this for decaying roads. How does this work?